Just fell. Let's see. Okay, sorry about that. Hello, I am Kiannaa Sadge, and I'm sorry about that intro. Um, Today, I wanted to do a live talking about the spiritual body and pain. And I wanted to begin by saying, welcome. This page is for people who are looking to do a deep dive and practice every day the natural laws which guide us all back to oneness. And I am not a therapist. I guide people to repattern their energy fields back to alignment within. That's called being in sync. And so I thought I would do today's video. This is a video series. It's a live video series where I give specific aspects that you can practice every single day. And today's topic is about the spiritual body and pain. And I thought I would give people a more realistic, honest perspective on pain that will help people to reconnect, because all pain stems from separation. Separation of what? Separation from the physical, not from the physical, from their spiritual bodies. So, as we learn, and I want you to think about this question: where and when have you been taught to feel your emotions, know your emotions, connect with your emotional body? In what context were you taught that? Did you learn that in school? No, I didn't. Did you learn that at home? Nope, sure didn't learn that there. Did you learn it at work? No. So the physical pains, emotional pains, spiritual pains are all coming from spiritual disconnection. So the whole spiritual journey and becoming in sync is all about creating inner alignment. When you create inner alignment, the pains that you feel physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually start to fade and go away. They get transmuted. All pain is transmuted when you are further aligned within. That means that inner spark, that God spark, is that flame is alive within you, and you become a channel for the Christ energy, oneness energy, unity, consciousness. There's so many different words and terms used, but I find that the word alignment and being congruent is the easiest for people to understand because it's not too heady. So when you learn to go into your spiritual body, how do you do that? Well, you don't learn to do that because most people don't understand that the spiritual body and the emotional body are one and the same. So they're not separate. So we are all of those things, but when you start to connect with your emotional body, you realize it's connected to your soul. So why do people not want people connected to their soul? Is there a reason for it? I believe there is something called spiritual warfare, and we are in the midst of it. So whether you believe it is occurring or not, you can ask yourself, who taught me how to feel my emotions, know my emotions, trust my emotions, transmute my emotions? Who taught you that? And if you didn't learn it, why not? Because that's the access point for the soul. Now, how many people do you know that try to push their feelings down, pretend they don't exist, deny them? I'm not jealous. No, not me. I don't envy those people. No way. Like, people are so disconnected from their emotional experience that they have disconnected from their soul. So if you want to have less pain in your body, physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain, and spiritual pain, you've got to be connected to your emotional body, which reconnects you to your soul, which reconnects you to that fire within you, that light that expands. So I'm just going to check and see. Today's video is going to be quite short. Just going to see if there's any questions. And if there is, I'll answer them. And if they're not, I'm going to sign off for today. Let's just see. I'm going to look for any questions. I am doing great. Thank you for asking. Am I a coach? Am I a life coach? No. Although I have done consulting for many years. And I will tell you that my experience with coaches is most of them are inept. And my experience with coaching, when people come to me and they've been coached, I usually have to do a lot of corrections because they don't trust. When people do not trust themselves, that becomes problematic for building esteem, for building confidence, for building empowerment, and also just trusting their knowing. So many coaches don't realize that that their responsibility is greater when you're teaching other people. That is for certain. But anyway, so no, to answer your question, no, I'm not a coach. I am a consultant, and I consult to energy psychology. I hope that helps you. Isn't that, somebody said something about the Bible. I don't know. I don't read the Bible. Okay. I don't know what Deepak Chopra is talking about, Nico. But you clearly are not somebody who is aligned with the natural laws, so you could keep it moving. It's okay. You're going to learn about them in this lifetime or another lifetime because that is how energy operates. Whether you understand it or not, energy operates off of a series of laws that are always in play, whether you consciously understand them or not. I hope that helps. So, anytime that you are feeling pain, most people try to ignore pain until it gets so loud and so loud and so deep that they can't ignore it anymore, and then they might listen to it. I would suggest that you start listening to your pain and use that as a tool to go deeper within yourself. And yeah. So I find that it's so interesting that people in the chat don't pay attention. They just want to say and spit out nonsense on a regular basis. And obviously, anybody who's watching these videos, I'm not doing any marketing. I'm not here for getting more clients, or I'm just offering different perspectives and opportunities for people to grow emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally. And yet people, hi Eric, good to see you. One of the nice people in the chat, thank you. It's just so interesting that so many people exercise their energy in a way that's negative or derogatory. And I think this goes to the level of pain that humanity is in to a large extent, because people do not understand that what they are putting out, whether you think it's silly and they're saying something silly in the chat, they don't understand. It doesn't stick in my field, but it does hurt you. And so we hurt ourselves by not taking full co-creative responsibility. And so I'm going to leave that one for you. So the thoughts that you have, the things that you think, and the way that you engage with others has a ripple effect in your field. It doesn't stick in mine because I know how to clear my field. I know how to align energetically. But so many people in this chat think that they're immune from pain but they are spewing it regularly. And I think, and I'm just using this as an example, but how many times people think thoughts, they don't maybe write it in the chat, but they're not negative, they're not positive thoughts. They're thoughts of hate, discontent, anger, harm, violence. People are really in excruciating ways, and they perpetuate their own pain. So you want to realize that you're always co-creating, and you want to co-create with responsibility. And you do that through gratitude, love, kindness, joy, and perpetuating those frequencies within yourself. Even when you don't feel it, it will help you understand that when you could tap into those moments in your emotional body, it will transmute pain, and it'll bring you right back to that spark within you. And that's what you want to feed. So I hope you all have a great day. I am Kiannaa Sadge, and I guide people to peace. I'm just going to see. Thank you so much, Eric, for being here. I'm just going to see if there's any questions. I don't see any, so I'm going to say goodbye. Oh, hey, Kevin. Good to see you here. Sorry I missed you earlier. I was just going to jump off, but it's good to see you're back. I was talking about pain, so I'm keeping this video short, but it's really about connecting with the emotional body and how the emotional body will help connect you to the soul. And when you're more connected to the soul, you become more aligned within. The weather here is great. Okay, you all. Have a great day.